We just finished creating our flowers. So in this lesson, we're going to learn how to not only create DOM elements from scratch based on the data, but what if our data changes and updates and we want the DOM to update to match that? So let's take a look at our simple bar chart again. Here part should return, this dot select all rectangles should return a selection of these 5 rectangle elements. And we'll call dot data on that. And you can see, like before, we'll pass in an array of data. So we'll pass in that new data of the 8 integers. And then the new thing that we're learning in the charts or visualizations that we might make, usually we'll be passing in and binding an object to the new data with our DOM. And so let's take a look at what dot and so the way that it does that is first, or there, I don't actually, yeah, so the way that it hey, 84 and 45 is already in our DOM in the rectangles, and it's in the new data set too. So we're going to call that the update selection. So those are the 2 rectangle elements that match the new data, so they'll remain on the screen, and that's the update selection. It will also calculate the exit selection, and so those are the 3 currently existing 3 rectangle elements. So these 3 that have datum bound, not in the new data array, selection. And the enter selection is D3 takes a look at the new data and it sees these 6 data elements that are new and not currently existing in the DOM here. So it makes a note that it needs to be created. And just a little bit of a small note that if we haven't So here's what the D3 selection looks like with the new data bound. I also find this one really interesting. So first of all, underscore groups, which is what we've been looking at all along, and it is kind of what the selection is in this case, when .data returns it, underscore groups represents our update selection. And if you open that up, you can see that it is consisting of 3 empty slots. In the new data. So .data keeps track of the update selection in this way. And if we take a look at the exit selection, you can see that it is the other 3 of our rectangles that aren't in the new data set. And it's very interesting. I think it's really interesting how they keep track of it. And finally, for the enter section, here's the enter selection. And it's very similar to what we saw before, where we have these placeholder elements for each of the new data elements. And then where these 2 existing rectangle elements should go remain empty. And actually, it is the update selection already puts our existing elements in the order that they should go in. So you can see that like it already says there's 2 empty at the beginning because there's 2 placeholder elements that need to then they've kind of switched around in the new data array.